brings us to the next point, which is consume content to your liking, but be mindful of how you're feeling when you're consuming the content. So what I mean by this is, of course, again, we are in the age of content. We have so much content that we could not get through. We could not get through even the 10% of it if we wanted to in our lifetime. So we have Netflix, we have YouTube, we have podcasts, we have even Instagram, Amazon Prime, we have Crave, we have all kinds of different things that we could utilize to our advantage, but also be mindful of what you're consuming, because it can be sometimes a negative experience for a lot of people. Maybe you're spending too much time on social media and it's not giving you, the right vibes, if you will. But if you consume it in a way that's positive for you, it could be good. So again, if you have any shows or, any podcast recommendations, anything like that, leave them below. But Daniel, would you like to give us some examples of some shows you've been enjoying?
Yeah. Well, I've been, I mean, some of the shows have been a bit cheesy that I've been watching lately, but one of the shows I watched on Netflix, this one's a bit dark. So I would suggest only watching a few episodes. Don't get too into it because some of them were a bit intense and I found myself going to a bit of a dark place. So that was The Trial of Gabriel Fernandez. So that's very intense watch. So just be mindful of that before you watch it.
It's a bit dark, isn't it?
Yeah, it's dark. And then I've also been watching I Am a Killer, which is also very, very dark.
Which I recommended. Why did I recommend it to you, Daniel?
I don't know, Rose, because I've been watching. It's good. It's a good series. Like, it's interesting, but it's like, it's very, like, these people have had very intense lives and it's like really full on. So then I started watching this, actually I finished now, this Spanish series called Toy Boy. And basically it's about these like five exotic male dancers in Spain and their lives basically. And the guys are like super, super hot. Like that's the main reason for watching it, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't that great of a story, but there's some nice eye candy. So that was good. And what else have I watched? I think and I also watched, it's kind of like a quirky kind of like teen one called I'm Not Okay With This. And it's about this girl that gets like, she's getting like superpowers or something's happening to her. And it's kind of interesting. It was a good little like kind of mindless watch.
Good. I like your recommendations. Anything else?
And one thing I'd always recommend watching because it's just comic gold and I freaking love it is RuPaul's Drag Race. So if you haven't watched...
Is there a new season?
No. Well, there is a new season, but it's not on Netflix yet. But there's 11 seasons on Netflix. So...
Oh, wow.
Knock your heart out.
That is a good marathon.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a kind of a feel-good show,
Exactly. If you haven't seen it before, definitely get stuck in. Start watching it. You will fall in love, and it is so funny. So
yeah, and if you watch something that's kind of dark, you could also watch an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race to kind of balance it it out, like Daniel does.
That's exactly what I do. It's like a RuPaul's Drag Race and then something really, really dark and sinister.
And then I am a killer.
And then I'm a killer. God damn.
Oh, God. Well, I also, let me think of, another idea that I read is you could make an effort to maybe watch all of the nominees of the Oscars. So maybe because there was like 6 nominees for Best Picture. You could watch all of those if that's something that you can do. But another show that I watched actually on Amazon Prime. Do you have Amazon Prime?
I don't know. I just have Netflix.
Okay, so for those of you that have Amazon Prime Video, you could watch, there's a show called Modern Love. It's kind of nice and cute. Every single episode is a little bit different. It is completely different story. And it's based on stories from some kind of New York City column. And it's called Modern Love. So they take like real life stories and kind of turn them into, a show. And it's just kind of nice and feel good. And
that's
it's
so
not
cute.
It's not like life changing, but it's cute and it's good to watch. Especially in a time like this, if we need something a little bit cute and
a little pick me up.
Yes, exactly. So let me know, guys, if you have any recommendations of shows or podcasts or any sort of content that you would recommend binging at this time. Leave them in the comments.
Definitely.